Ladies and gentlemen, we are live for another edition tonight of NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 Busch Series Custom Schedule Season Race for the first time in 2 weeks. When we left off in the season opener at the high banks at the Daytona International Speedway, our driver Greg Biffle was able to get the victory in that season opening race, leading 42 of the 120 laps, en route to not only winning the race but also leading the most laps in that race and getting a max points day. Can he do it today? But this time it's going to be a little bit harder. Instead of starting up on the pole like we did at Daytona, we're going to have to start from the rear of the field. It is going to be Bristol, 250 laps for the Sharpie Professional 250 daytime race, and we will be starting from last in 43rd. In 250 laps at Bristol, can we work our way to the front and get Greg Biffle his second win and as many races to start this Busch Series season? Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we are on the road to Daytona, 19 days away from the Daytona 500 and only 5 days away from the Busch Clash live commentary live stream that will be taking place at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the heat races. I'll be doing live commentary for all of those, and then the main event race at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Those will be 2 separate streams, as we'll probably have a good hour and a half break in between the heat races and the main event. So we'll adjust accordingly when Sunday rolls around. But yes, Boss Brody, 8456 Cerebral Assassin, Joshua Rumsey, welcome to the stream, everybody. And hopefully you guys are enjoying so far your Tuesday night. Let's get this thing kicked off. It's Bristol, baby. And here we go once again. Another spectacular racetrack towards the beginning portion of this custom schedule season. As the green flag is in the air, there's about 2 cars that went down to the apron into turn 1 to try and make a couple passes. That was very interesting in the middle of the pack. And Bob Spear, I guess Bob Spear is in the 152 in the Truck Series. I'm not sure who it is in the Busch Series, but the 152 car will lead the opening lap of the race. So no qualifying for the Biff today. He'll be starting at the tail, trying to make his way through the field the hard way. Already got around Ashton Lewis and nearly gets caught up in an accident. Got into the back of Herbie Sadler, and then Ashton Lewis got shifted down to the inside. A little bit of a chain reaction of events there. It's going to be hard to get through this entire field without any major contact. We'll have to see how it's going to work itself out. A lot of Cup Series regulars in this race today. One of them already leading the field, Paul Menard, who was a Cup Series rookie in this 2004 season. Running full-time in the Busch Series potentially as well, or at least the first 2 races of this Busch Series season. Actually had a decent run at Daytona, but he's leading laps early at Bristol after a good qualifying effort. Leading from lap 2 through 5 now. Davion West, welcome to the stream. Little bumper tag for Biffle to the back of the car in front of him. Should be a 1 pit stop race today. I'd have to imagine these guys can make it 125 laps on fuel. But I guess we'll wait and see. First of 2 races at Bristol Motor Speedway on this custom schedule season. We'll be back here later this season for the night race. Herbie Sadler with a crossover move to get back to the inside of Greg Biffle through turns 3 and 4. And because there's no qualifying, there's no practice for Greg Biffle as well. So really kind of guessed on the setup. Ran the same thing from what I had back in season 1. So we have some notes to go off of. We'll brush into the wall off the exit of turn 4. The outside does not work that well at Old Bristol. Biffle's just trying to hang on right now as he gets into it again off of turn 2. He's trying to find his way back down to the bottom lane right now, and he hasn't been able to as he's getting freight trained. Goes up to about 38, now he's right back to 41st again. Ashton Lewis looking to the inside next. Biffle might go all the way back to last place before he can get down to the bottom. He'll just lift and hop back into last immediately. He's probably going to end up in the wall off of turn 4 if he didn't lift anyway. Definitely do not want to lose that bottom lane. All it took was him overdriving the corner once just to move up a little bit. As there's just going to be constant congested traffic all day long, except for Paul Menard right now, who's leading. He's the only one not dealing with any traffic in front of him. With this only being a half-mile short track as well, it may not take very long for the leaders to get to the back of the field, so that's another incentive for Biffle to get going early. There are no free passes in the Busch Series. You really got to hope no accident happens in front of you as well, especially in the early going, while he's trying to work his way through the field. Gonna have to pause it for a quick second. As soon as I can, at least. Got a notification blocking the chat on my laptop. Bobby Hamilton Jr. now to the race lead. We raced as Bobby Hamilton Sr. and won the championship in our custom schedule season for the Truck Series. We'll be competing against Bobby Hamilton Jr., one of the full-time Busch Series drivers this season. Biffle, a Cup Series regular that we're racing as, just like what we did with Kevin Harvick in Season 1. But we'll be running all the races and have to be one of the favorites because of that statement alone. Biffle, a former Busch Series champion as well as Harvick. We got Harvick his second title. He would eventually go on to win 3 total with our championship in Season 1. But now we're trying to get Biffle his second career Busch Series championship. He's really rolling the bottom well, as long as he can stay there. He's up to 33rd, lap 19. So in about 20 laps, he's gained 10 positions. Not bad. Though these are a lot of the slower cars, though. His teammate, Mark Martin, has continued to kind of pull away from him. And now Martin's going to get shuffled to the outside all of a sudden. There we go. Now I can pause it. Little break there. Alright. Now I can see the chat again. So already 3 different leaders at the front of the field in 21 laps. Pretty racy up there. See if anybody else could charge towards the front. This is a short track traffic jam. Yes, it is. And nothing but cars in front of Biffle. And it's not going to clear up anytime soon. He'll work to the inside of his teammate Mark Martin off the exit of Turn 2. I really like that Pennzoil paint scheme Martin runs in the Busch Series in this game. Biffle's fastest lap of the first 23 was his last lap of 15.427. Oh, we got a car blowing up out of the rear view of Greg Biffle. One of the generated drivers that he just passed the lap before has blown an engine. He'll get to the inside of the racetrack and he'll try to get to the pit lane, whatever side he ends up having to make it to. And it looks like he is going to be pitting on the back stretch because he is not on the front stretch pit lane. He is on the apron on the front stretch. So we should be able to make it into the pits this time. And we'll continue to stay green at Bristol. We had 5 cautions in the season opener at Daytona a couple weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to see how this one is going to work itself out. Contact off the exit of Turn 4. Dwayne Borland just got hit from behind by Gene Martin. Biffle getting around Kenny Wallace for position. Now he's underneath Borland. Predicted the teams for the Super Bowl on Sunday? Did you predict them before the season started? If you did that, that's really impressive. I saw some dude won like $500,000 off of two. It was literally just a two-way parlay where he predicted the score correct in both games. I forget what it was. It was like 27,000 to 1 odds or something, and he only put 20 bucks down and ended up cashing over 500 grand. Could you imagine? Man, Kevin Harvick almost got back down to the inside, but Biffle was able to get there first. Harvick should have room to move down now. He lost about 2 or 3 positions over the last couple laps because he was stuck on the top. A lot of the Cup Series regulars have been running towards the back half of the field. Harvick's outside the top 20. Biffle's finally up to 20th. Martin's outside the top 20. But not all of them, though, because we've seen Paul Menard lead already. I'd have to assume that Dale Jr. is probably in this race, and he's up here as well as Matt Kenseth. And potentially others. Johnny Sauter, another Cup Series regular. Rookie in the Cup Series. Will contact up in front of Biffle. We'll be seeing contact all night long at Bristol. Well, the Olympics are on 24/7. Usually. It's like an all-day event every day for the Olympics. For that like 2 or 3 weeks that they run through. Not uncommon. I mean, that's something that would happen every 4 years at the Winter Olympics and the Super Bowl. They always take place in early February. Caution, lap 42, our first of the race. Trouble somewhere around the racetrack. And it looks like the 117 going to go around, backing it into the outside wall. He had Sean Batson in the 157 behind him, but I don't think he made contact with them before he ended up getting loose. I think the 117 just kind of lost it on his own. Biffle's going to stay out of the pits unless everybody else pits, but it looks like everybody will be staying out, so Biffle will stay out as well. And nobody went a lap down before the caution, so no lap cars will be on the inside for this restart. Single file all the way through. Green flag back in the air at Bristol as Bobby Hamilton Jr. will lead the field to the green. And that's a caution Biffle needed. He worked his way up to 16th, but he's still over 6.5 seconds off the race lead from Bobby Hamilton Jr. Now he's a little bit closer with the field getting bunched together again. But Biffle did not take off well on the restart. Look at how far ahead the 20 of Mike Bliss already gapped him. Busch Series season almost starting off how the Truck Series custom schedule season did. Where early in the year we had a lot of races with a lot of cautions. 5 at Daytona. I know we only have 1 tonight already though. It only took 42 laps. And 42 laps at Bristol's not long. The 250 laps in general at Bristol's not long either, so it's going to be a very quick race. Already to lap 50. Biffle just ran his fastest lap that last time, 15.345. Another car blowing up on the inside of the racetrack. Tough to tell who it was. It looked like it may have been Paul Menard. That would be a tough break. He was inside the top 5. So Tim Fiedel will put the bumper to somebody, making a move. He's inside the top 10 and makes another pass for position. Biffle made a pass on Kyle Busch that last lap. Oh, a little bumper to David Stremme now after Stremme tried to crowd him. Another bump and run out in front of the Biff. Somebody else getting shoved to the outside, so drivers starting to get restless as we race with under 200 laps to go at Bristol. Yeah, I'll be getting 11 to 16 inches of snow total within the next 48 hours. It won't start till after I go to work tomorrow, but I'll probably have to drive home in it, even with an early release. We're getting out at 2:30. You usually work till 4:30, but it's supposed to start snowing. It's supposed to start raining about 7 o'clock in the morning, but it's supposed to turn to snow probably around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's going to be snowing for a few hours before I even leave. Unless they end up letting us out at noon. But they told us today they were going to let us out at 2:30. I don't work Thursday, so once I get home, I'll be home all day Thursday. Mike Busch, JJ Yaley both going to be passed by Biffle, and Biffle's inside the top 10, 57 laps into the race. First time he has cracked the top 10 tonight. Bobby Hamilton kind of gapping the cars right now. A little side-by-side battle for fourth up there. I will be as careful as possible. I trust my driving abilities. It's the other people on the highway that I don't trust so much. I've seen people spin out in the snow on the highway before coming home from work just because they're idiots and they think they can drive 70 miles an hour still, and then they lose control when they go around this little bend because everybody else is trying to do 45, 50 because they know if they go any faster that they'll probably lose control. Biffle picking up his lap times even more as the run carries on. 15.264. It's impressive, the fact that he's got 61 laps on his tires. He's in traffic and he's still running his fastest laps of the race. 15.3 flat that last time as he makes the pass on the 106 for ninth. Vito going to open the door up for Biffle to get underneath Terry Cook in the 10 car now. Ooh, Cook sideswipes the 60 of Biffle. Trying to pinch him on the front straightaway. All that did was move Cook out of the way, and he'll have to wait to get back down to the bottom behind the 106 as he falls from 7th to 10th in about a lap and a half. That easy to go backwards at Bristol. You wouldn't think it would be the case, but at Old Bristol, when it's a fight for the bottom, well, you've been seeing a lot of bump and runs already in today's race. It's a 2004 Mustang. 40th anniversary. I think Biffle's got one of the fastest cars on the field. The fact he has driven to 7th. Now, I don't think he'd be up to 7th if it wasn't for the caution bunching everything back together a little over 20 laps ago, but... And he definitely wouldn't be 1.3 seconds off the lead either. But a little last to first challenge today, and Biffle's doing a good job with it so far. Honestly, at the pace he is running right now, if he can get to the lead and hold on to it for a while, he still might actually have a chance to lead the most laps today, even with starting in last place. That'd be really impressive. He's going to have to get there fairly quick, considering we're already 70 laps in. He's still in 7th, though, and he's got everybody under a blanket right in front of him. Leaders haven't hit lap traffic on this restart yet either. Matt Kenseth and Dale Jr. running 2nd and 3rd, putting a lot of pressure on Bobby Hamilton Jr., the Busch Series regular, the only Busch Series regular in the top 3. Biffle now will drive to 5th, clearing Casey Atwood off of turn 2. And Atwood might get him back as Biffle's stuck on the outside. But he gets the drive off the exit of the corner. It'll cut down in front of Atwood clear. So great job by Biffle holding on. Usually you go high and start to get freight trained back. But he was able to beat Atwood back to the gas, and he cleared him before getting into turn 1. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. I do not have 4-wheel drive. Is there any Mustangs that have 4-wheel drive? I'm sure maybe there's some newer ones that might, but no, mine definitely doesn't. It sucks even in the rain sometimes. When you have standing water, if there's enough standing water and, like, for instance, I'm in like a puddle and I'm trying to get going, like, the tires want to spin. And it's not like the tires are bald either. Like, they spin. I did it with my old tires. I've done it with my new tires. It's just the way the car is. It's more so if I'm on an incline. But, like, if I'll pull to an incline on a stoplight and it's pouring down rain, like, it'll want to spin a little bit. Not ridiculously, just kind of initially if I try to get into the gas too much. If I creep into it, then I'm fine. Snow, on the other hand, usually it spins forever, spins forever, spins forever. But once I'm going, it's fine when I'm driving. It's just when I have to stop, it's like I'm just praying that I hit every stoplight I have to hit green so that way I don't have to stop, because then I hold people up behind me and I feel bad. Matt Kenseth just put the bump and run on the race leader to take his first lead of the race, so 5 bonus points for Kenseth. And look at Hornaday putting the bumper to Dale Earnhardt Jr. for 3rd. Great move by Hornaday. 2-time Busch Series champion himself. Put the bumper to another 2-time Busch Series champ. And Biffle was able to get around Jr. as well, with Hornaday clearing up the space. Biffle to 4th. Trying to run down his teammate Kenseth, who now leads, and we're about to hit lap traffic for the first time tonight. Kenseth underneath that first lap car. Hornaday may try to use the lap car as a pick. He thought about it, but he couldn't quite get down to the inside quick enough. Biffle's starting to lose the top 3 a little bit. Might need them to start making contact with one another again so he can try to get more momentum going for him. Or maybe the lap traffic to hold up Kenseth a bit. Hornaday to the inside for 2nd. Biffle trying to hustle so he can get to the inside of Hornaday, or I should say to the inside of Hamilton, before Hornaday clears him. And he was able to do that, and that clears the way for Biffle to get to 3rd. Ron Hornaday's looking fast all of a sudden. He wants his first lead of the night. We've already had 4 different leaders in the first 100 laps. Hornaday trying to make it 5. We haven't even gotten to the first pit stop of the race. Should be a one-stopper anyway, though. Which is why I'd have to assume everybody stayed out of the pits during the lap 42 caution. I used to race on dirt for a little over a decade, so I can trust myself driving in the snow. I know it's not the same thing exactly. I got more horsepower in my car, but still I trust myself on the wheels in my hand. Look at this lap traffic in front of Matt Kenseth. I don't think the leaders are going anywhere anytime soon. My goodness, this is about as much lap traffic as I've seen at any track in a while on this game. Biffle to the inside of Hornaday for 2nd. And they're double wide in front of Kenseth. He doesn't really have much of anywhere to go as Roush Fenway runs 1-2 at the front of the field now. Biffle into the back of a lap car. That's not going to help him. Almost allowed Hornaday to get back underneath him. Ooh, Biffle nearly got into the left rear of the 116 car again. Well, it's taken almost 100 laps, but Biffle might be able to get it to the lead for the first time in this race. Tell you what, I don't know if he's got the speed that the 17, the 2 have in clean traffic, but in lap traffic, that might be the great equalizer. Oh, we got cars pitting, and Kenseth checked up right in front of Biffle. Biffle got into the back of him, so we got some drivers short pitting. That tells me that the window's probably open to the end of the race now. That checkup nearly allowed that lap car to get around Biffle. And a checkup also allowed Hornaday to fall back to 4th as Bobby Hamilton Jr. got back around him. Oh, we got cars checking up. Oh, my goodness. Kenseth checked up. Biffle got to the bottom in time, and he'll take the lead in turns 1 and 2. Five bonus points as Biffle leads his first lap of the race at lap 95. Looked like there were a couple cars that were nearly stopped, it looked like. They're running extremely slow. I think they were coming out of the pits and trying to get up to speed on the bottom. And we had some cars running into one another. Kenseth checked up out of a safety precaution. Biffle checked up a bit, but not as much as Kenseth. And he was able to get around him going into turn 1 to take his first lead of the race. Right front tire starting to wear out now on Biffle's race car into the yellow. Oh, lap car in the wall. That's going to stack Kenseth up, and Kenseth stuck on the outside. Hamilton back to second. Oh, lap car nearly hung up and turned off the front bumper of the 60. Biffle makes another pass. This bot, I swear. Alright, well that's figured out. I shouldn't have paused at the middle of the corner. That's alright, we're good. Oh, there's a little smoke in turns 1 and 2, like somebody got into the outside wall that last lap. Well, there's nowhere around Biffle, so Biffle will drive on no problem. Looks like Kenseth gets back to the inside of Bobby Hamilton for second. Great short track racing at Bristol. I just don't understand how I hide or ban it, and it still ends up finding a way to come back. I've banned it like 4 times now. Matt Kenseth to the lead, getting back around Biffle. And Hamilton followed to get to second. I just don't think Biffle's as fast as Kenseth, Hamilton, and Hornaday. Those seem to be the 3 fastest cars. Biffle's probably got about the 4th fastest car right now, so he's going to have to just be able to work through the lap traffic a little bit better. That's how he got to the lead. Biffle fights back to the inside of Bobby Hamilton, though. And again, he's up to second. Oh, Biffle got back in the gas too soon. Oh, man, he nearly got turned off of turn 3. Wow, that was a big save, and there's quite a bit of damage to the left rear quarter panel of Biffle's race car now. That was a terrible spot to lift, but he tried to lift to keep it off the wall. He got ran into from behind. You can't fault the drivers that were behind Biffle with him checking up at a point where you were supposed to get back in the gas. But he got back in the gas too soon, and he had to check up. And they're definitely going to have to fix the damage on that corner panel when he goes in to make that first and only stop of the night. Kenseth's pulling away right now. Just put the bumper to a lap car. He is in a hurry to lap as many cars as possible. And try to grow this lead out as much as possible as well. Well, worst case scenario, Biffle doesn't win tonight. And I only say that because, again, we don't have the fastest car. We're really relying on the lap traffic like we did to get to the lead in the first place. But I will say that we've got a fast car. Luckily, it's a Busch race, so we don't have to go full 500 laps today. With having that damage on the left rear corner panel barely over 100 laps in. But we're almost halfway home. Alrighty, Joshua. Hopefully you can make it back by the finish. 14 people watch right now. 5 likes. Smash the like button. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. You guys have done an awesome job recently. Both new people to the channel, current viewers, with smashing that like button every night on these streams. Last night we had over 25 likes at the end of the stream. I think the 2 streams before that are up over 25 as of right now as well. So that really helps the channel out a lot. I could tell it's helping out with the algorithm because those 3 streams are some of my most viewed streams over the last couple weeks combined. They've only been out for less than 48 hours between the 3 of them, so I greatly appreciate it. You saw, I believe that was Kenny Wallace down on the bottom of the track who blew an engine a couple laps ago. He's made it into the pit lane as we continue to stay green. We have had 1 caution so far. It's back on lap 42, a single car spin by the 117. He didn't have any contact with him, but when he came back down the track, he did end up making contact with the 157 of Sean Batson. So, single car spin turned into a 2-car accident. I think both drivers are still in the race as long as they haven't had engine failures since. We've seen probably 3 or 4 engine failures total already tonight as we're just shy of the halfway mark. Greg Biffle in second. Matt Kenseth currently leads. Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s led the most laps in the early going. He's in third. Biffle started in last place and is now up to, well, he was up to the lead at one point, but he just doesn't have the speed that his teammate Kenseth has tonight. That contact with the lap car really messed Biffle up. Barely able to stay in front of Bobby Hamilton. Kenseth's got side-by-side lap traffic in front of him. Biffle cut the lead down 0.2 of a second that last lap. After he lost a couple tenths after getting into the wall, the contact with the lap car in front of him the lap before that. Matthew Ring, welcome to the stream. Back to the grind, yep. It's been a fun race so far, I do have to say. I mean, Bristol's usually a pretty entertaining race, but we've had a lot of action all night long. The AI have been putting a lot of bump and runs on each other, but it's been just good, hard, short track racing. 137, not 157. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I keep saying 157 when it comes to that car just because it looks like a 5. But you're right, it is 137. Wow, man, Biffle on the wall again. It feels like it's going to stick when I get back in the gas in the middle of the corner. It just shoves on exit. It's fine on corner entry right now, but the corner exit's really tight for Biffle on this long run. Been a little over 80 laps since the caution. There's a lot of lap cars right now between Kenseth and Biffle as well. Still have not had that first pit stop of the race either, so even if you eliminate the caution laps, we've gone nearly, well, I guess it would be 125 laps at the line so far on these current tires. So they will not have to go this far to the end of the race. It's going to depend on when they pit. Oh, Kenseth's stuck on the outside right now. That's why he's losing time. Lap car got back underneath him. He is getting freight trained. And I think he's going to be able to get to the bottom now. We'll see. Into turn 3. Yes, he does. He does get back down to the bottom. He nearly got squeezed by the lap car again. He's able to hold on. But Kenseth's 2-second lead all of a sudden is down to 0.6 of a second again. The moving chicanes at Bristol Motor Speedway. They were a thing in 2004. They're still a thing now. They were a thing even before 2004 as well. They will forever be a part of short track racing. Biffle's got a little bit new life. He's still got 3 lap cars between himself and Kenseth by the time Kenseth got back to the bottom. There's 2 more lap cars right in front of Kenseth, but one of the lap cars right in front of Biffle's holding him up big time. Yes, I did do a Featherlight Modified Series custom schedule season. I did 2 seasons total, but I did do the custom schedule season. That was started as soon as the off-season hit. We got it done within 4 streams because the races are shorter, so I did two races a stream. It was a pretty quick series. Kenseth's going to have a little bit of clean air on in front of him once he clears his lap car. Is currently on his outside. He is clear into turn 3. Biffle trying to keep pace with his teammate. Biffle would be the points leader coming into this race, considering that he did win at Daytona in the season opener. He led 42 laps in that race. He's led less than that in today's race. This race is over twice as long as far as the laps go compared to Daytona. Didn't help he started towards the back. He's got a fast car, but he doesn't have the fastest car. And again, Kenseth, Bobby Hamilton Jr., Ron Hornaday definitely seem to be faster on the short run. Biffle and Kenseth both have really pulled away, though, from Hamilton and Hornaday. They may have pit as well. It's possible. They didn't pit right when I saw a bunch of cars coming in. When the window opened, they were still out on the racetrack. Sad Sharks, welcome to the stream. Closing in on 100 laps to go already. Had an early yellow, but we haven't seen one since. We got around the lap car, Billy Parker. He's digging right now. I mean, Biffle is closing back in on Kenseth. Kenseth almost brushed the wall. Will he be able to get around him before he pits? Oh, lap car squeezed him. Lap car got the wall off the exit of turn 4, allowing Biffle to clear. Biffle is so close. He is just muscled back to the 17 at Kenseth, and he's underneath him in turns 1 and 2. Side by side for the lead. And these two will transfer the lead back and forth once again. The second time Biffle has gotten around Kenseth for the lead. Can Kenseth get him back now before the pit stops? Some cars pitting this time. Biffle and Kenseth still on the track, lap 149. Biffle will pit this time by. His pit box will be on the front stretch tonight at Bristol. And here comes Biffle in the pits, 2 laps after taking the lead. 70 miles an hour is the speed limit. And he did a great job not speeding. It's kind of hard to speed at Bristol when you have a 70 mile per hour speed limit, but nonetheless, he gets down in time. 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments for the 60, but they got some damage on the left rear corner panel of the race car after he got ran into from behind off the exit of turn 2 earlier. After he had to lift off the exit of the corner. One of the lap cars got into him in a bad spot for Biffle to lift, but they'll buff it out a little bit at least. And now Biffle's just got to hope that we don't get a caution between his stop and whenever the rest of the leaders decide to pit. So Biffle out on the track. He is 1 lap down in 7th. Matt Kenseth still on the racetrack, leading laps. So Biffle pitting before Kenseth may be able to cycle Greg Biffle to the race lead. That could be the difference. He was barely in front of Kenseth when he came in. Craig Franklin, welcome to the stream. Give your best friend Tyler a call out. Is he watching? Welcome, Tyler. If you're watching. And Kenseth is in the pits as we speak on the front stretch. Biffle back on the lead lap, so if we get a yellow, he'll be alright. That was risky, though, by Kenseth staying out, though, those extra 3 laps compared to Biffle. Looks like the 109 car is now in the lead. He'll get 5 bonus points. And Kenseth is going to cycle ahead of Greg Biffle. What a stop by that 17 crew. They pitted 4 laps after Greg Biffle. 3 to 4 laps after him, and he still is able to cycle in front of the 60. It's pretty unbelievable. He's already got a fast car, but when you add the fast pit stop onto it, that's what makes a race-winning team. Kart Road America 96 last night. Yeah, I'm getting myself hyped for the Daytona 500. I've been wanting to watch some older 500s. I watched the 2011 Daytona 500 2 weeks ago. I was watching some old Royal Rumble matches this weekend before the Rumble, so I didn't watch a Daytona 500 this weekend. I was trying to get myself pumped up for that, but while I get snowed in between tomorrow getting off early or Thursday, I'll probably end up watching another one. I don't know what year I'm going to watch yet, though. 2011 just kind of like randomly popped in my head. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. It's kind of how I'm going to feel out the rest of them. I really like the 2002 500. That's one of my favorites. Just a super chaotic finish to that race. It was the most nutty finish a Daytona 500 could probably ever have. Or has ever had. Kenseth got stuck on the outside of a lap car again, and Biffle's closing. David Green may get underneath him, and if he does, all Biffle's got to do is follow Green. This is the moment of truth. Can he get underneath Kenseth before Kenseth moves down? Kenseth is going to try to move down, and he barely clears Greg Biffle with the block into turn 3. That was an aggressive move from teammate on teammate, but it worked out for Matt Kenseth. Biffle was so close. He kind of lost David Green on corner entry just a bit, and he wasn't able to follow him. And now Green's trying to cross over Biffle instead. Biffle might get hung up on the outside. Squeezes David Green down. And now Biffle gets moved up the racetrack again after he squeezed Green off of the exit of turn 2. Biffle clear back to the bottom. '16 is one of my favorites as well. I mean, that's my kind of super speedway race. Fairly clean for the most part. And coming down to the... I mean, just a crazy good finish. Close. Kenseth made a great save to keep from wrecking the field. Such a great finish to a really good race. Kenseth getting held up by lap cars. Greg Biffle right behind him. Biffle gets into the left rear of another lap car. It was Gene Martin in the 107 he got into. I'll get around Manny Brown. He's trying to figure out a way around his teammate Kenseth. He's trying to intimidate him. I don't know if that's going to work on a teammate. He doesn't want to get into him. I mean, these two have raced each other clean. They probably should race each other clean considering their teammates, so Biffle doesn't want to put a bump and run on him. Kenseth just put a bump and run on a lap car, though. And Kenseth's held up right now, so Biffle is able to close in pretty quickly. And Biffle drives it deep into turn 1. Up the track goes Kenseth. Biffle back to the lead, and they'll change the lead between each other again. Biffle's taking the lead away from Kenseth 3 times. Kenseth has taken it away from Biffle twice. Again, all clean passes every time, too. Big respect level between these two drivers. We have 2 bots down in the chat now. What is that, third total? What a stride by Kenseth. Biffle just does not have the car the 17 has. Their teammates, you would think they'd have equal cars, but I think Kenseth is just better. It might be the driver. I would not be surprised if it's the driver. Oh, contact! Well, it wasn't clean that time. Kenseth did kind of crowd the 60 a bit. Look at them crossing each other back over. I know it's the Busch Series, but this is what a win at Bristol's all about. Biffle got back down to the bottom before the lap car can get there. Kenseth slips. Saw him get a little tight off the exit of turn 2, and again Biffle to the inside. Oh, Kenseth bounces off the wall off turn 4, and Biffle will pull clear. Like how he added the bot. I work at a Home Depot distribution right now, full time. Kenseth went a little bit wide and lost some ground behind Biffle that corner. The handling of these cars are going to change, though, because we still have about 65 laps to go, roughly. 67 to be exact. So there's going to be constant tire wear to the end of the race, because right now these guys really only have 30 to 35 laps on their tires. It's only going to get worse as we get closer to the finish. Biffle a little bit wide into turn 3. Kenseth's so close to Greg Biffle. Couldn't quite get underneath in that last lap. Yeah, I got the job I've been there a little over a year now. January 4th, I believe, was my 1 year Annie at that place. I started right after the new year. So yeah, if you have been around here on the channel, that's when I got the job. I was sick of my old job before that. Wasn't getting home till like 8 o'clock. I had to go back in by 5 the next morning. It was brutal. I did not like, I was just working too many hours. I was exhausted. Like, if I really want, like, it just wasn't for me. I was having to drive a little bit further than what I am for this job also. Well, Kenseth gets right back around Biffle again. Biffle just cannot hold him back. There's no way Biffle's going to be able to pull away from him. Plus, Kenseth catches a ton of lap cars. Problem is Biffle's catching the same lap cars because they're so close to one another. Kenseth's got the superior car. He's pulled away from Biffle multiple times. Biffle's had to run him back down in lap traffic. But it has not gone the opposite way where Biffle has done the same to Kenseth. Well, that last lap car just pulled down right in front of the 17 after Biffle had cleared him. Kenseth may use the bumper here after a while. He's got plenty of time. He knows Biffle's not going to just drive away from him. So he's being patient. And he'll finally get to the inside of the lap car. I think this might be Biffle's largest lead of the race right now. A half a second with 57 laps to go. Am I taking for the duels? Well, I don't know the qualifying order yet, so I can't really give my prediction for that race, because I don't know who's going to be in what duel. You have to wait and see, I guess, for my predictions video. The day of or the night before. Probably will be the day of because qualifying's the night before. I'll probably record the video after that. There's no way I'm going to be able to record it and get it edited that same night after qualifying. It'll probably be uploaded in the morning. Four-tenths of a second between Biffle and Kenseth. Side-by-side lap traffic in front of Biffle. Doesn't really have anywhere to go right now. Gotta be telling Spotter here, you guys need to tell them to get out of my way. Oh, that's not gonna work. That actually held Kenseth up a little bit more than it held Biffle. That wasn't what Biffle had in mind, though. Clipping the left rear of that lap car, he just got a little tight off the exit of the corner because he got back at the gas too soon. If the car wasn't there, he would have been fine. He wouldn't have hit the wall, but because the car was there, there was less room for that kind of an error. Make microscopes by day. Watch your stream by night. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Hopefully I can give you some sort of relaxation on a nightly basis after your hard day at work. I expel that on myself through you guys as well. Pepsi Life Alert OxyClean Bleach 400. Really ironic name. Oh, microchips. I thought it said scope. You might have said chips. Yeah, you said microchips. I said scopes. My bad. No, you had it right. I had it wrong. Trying to read the chat at Bristol, that's a whole new challenge. It's a challenge in and of itself. As well as trying to win the thing. Well, all the passing back and forth Biffle and Kenseth have done today, they've only made contact once. Very minor. They both drove on. Both kept it off the wall. No major issue. Will continue to stay a fairly clean battle to the end. Or will Kenseth get restless here after a while trying to get around Biffle? And will we get another caution before the end of the race as well? Haven't alternated through the different camera angles yet, so we'll do that right now. Mike Bliss is the next lap car in the 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Right in front of Greg Biffle. Oh, pulled down right on top of the 60. He was clear. Desperately trying to just stay low. Get around him, and he is clear. He has cleared Mike Bliss. I think Bliss got... Yeah, Bliss is back on the inside of Biffle. Biffle's going to get hung up, and Kenseth is probably going to get to the lead because of it. Mike Bliss crossing Biffle over. Look at that block by Kenseth. Off the exit of 2, as soon as he had a chance to pull clear, he did, but Biffle crosses him back over of his own down to the bottom. Biffle back to the lead off of turn 2. Now he slides up. And Kenseth can't get the crossover on his own. Man, Biffle just can't keep the car on the bottom. It's at that point in the run where the tires are really starting to wear out. Almost got the wall that time. And this is where Kenseth starts to get a little bit quicker on the longer run as well. Biffle's done a great job trying to keep with him as much as possible since that last pit stop. And now Kenseth's caught behind a lap car. And he's going to get to the inside of Matt Kenseth. Pass is made. And Biffle's back in the lead. There's been a lot of lead changes tonight. Not just between these two either. There are a lot of lead changes in the first 100 laps. We've seen about 7 different leaders. But it is a 2-horse race to the finish right now. I don't see anybody in third being able to make a run without a caution. Your names for races reminds me of those Saturday Night Live skits with the ESPN Classics where they always had the sponsors. They always had, like, inappropriate sponsors for their ESPN Classic events. It was like ESPN Classic, like, sponsored by Vagisil or something. Or that was always hilarious. But then they had, like, they had some stupid, like, quote, I guess, afterwards. For their, I mean, it was the joke. It was a part of the joke. And they would just say something inappropriate after the fact, but it would be like almost like the company slogan that they were told to say it or whatever, when it was obviously not it. But they had to keep like a straight face and a smile, of course, because they're technically supposed to be doing the live broadcast of, you know, whatever sporting event they were doing. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go look it up. They're hilarious. It's got, oh man, who are the two that... It's the same two guys that always did it. It was Will Forte and Jason Sudeikis. Those two were always doing the ESPN Classic skits. "24 laps to go, and the battle between the Roush teammates of Biffle and Kenseth is heating up and ramping up as we get closer to the checker flag. Quite a few more lap cars right in front of them, side by side, in fact, right in front of Biffle off of turn 4. Waiting for a lane to clear up. Oh, and he gets into the back of the 56. Contact after the 56 thought he was clear, but he wasn't. Kenseth's going to have to put the bumper to him here before long. Doesn't need to. He'll just drive right underneath him. He's got the speed to be able to do it. And he's still got enough laps just to keep the pressure on Biffle. 20 to go this time by. Biffle trying to win the first 2 races of this Busch Series season. He won the season opener at Daytona, leading the most laps, 42 of the 120 that day. Not sure how many he's led so far today. Quite a few in the final 100 laps of this race, as he's been able to defend the lead from Matt Kenseth for quite a while, but with 8 to go, can he hold on? Four lap cars right in front of Biffle right now. And they are not moving out of the way. And Biffle's being blocked now into turn 1 as well. 7 laps to go. It's the 116 car. He's already a couple laps down. I'm not sure why he's blocking Biffle right now. He's running that inside line unless he's battling the car in front of him for a position. But again, they are already multiple laps down. Biffle can't get into him, though, because it might stack him up enough that could allow the 17 to get back underneath him. Biffle again looks low off turn 2. Gets blocked. And Kenseth is going to look low after Biffle got blocked into the last corner, but he couldn't get underneath the 60. 3.5 laps remain. And we are less than 60 seconds away from the checkered flag. Caution comes out at this point. The race is over. Oh, sorry. I have the laps way off. We have 13 to go. We have 13 laps left. What was I thinking? I was thinking it was in the 240s, but it was in the 230s the whole time. I don't think I've done that before. That's a new one. Well, Biffle's got even more time to try to hang on. 11 laps to go still. Really needs these lap cars to move out of the way. They have not come off the bottom whatsoever. They are actually side by side up there. Now they're back to single file again at the front of this lap car line. Biffle finally gets underneath the 116, and he's clear off turn 2, and that lap car got the wall, and that might have stacked Kenseth up behind just a bit. And Biffle, with 9 to go, continues to lead. He's got a couple car lengths over Kenseth now. Kenseth not done yet. He's got the car. He's still got a little bit of time. Now we have 8 to go. Side by side in front of Biffle. Biffle to the inside of Gene Martin, who's got some damage to the back of his race car. 119 on the outside as well. Starting to stay out of Biffle's way a little bit better. It's not perfect by any means. I guess we could get a caution and still get a restart then. I'm not as late in the race as I thought we were. It would have to happen within the next couple laps, though. Because if it comes with a couple laps to go, then that could be it. No cautions on the final lap if it does come down to an accident on the final lap. Kenseth's going to get shuffled up to the outside as that 119 car he just passed the corner before, just crossed him over. That's going to put a lap car between the top two. A little bit of separation for Biffle. Kenseth's got to get around him quick as they come to 4 to go. Well, now we're 60 seconds away from the victory. Potentially, if Biffle can hang on. Just gets to the inside of another lap car as well. Kenseth's struggling to get back around the 119 a second time. Oh, contact. Biffle gets into the next lap car. That was Jared Holmes in the 108. 3 to go. And right when he was starting to pull away from Kenseth, he made a mistake, clearing high a little too early on the lap car of Holmes. Lap and a half remains. Still one lap car, though, between the top two. Clean air in front of the 16. Contact with some lap cars further up ahead, but he shouldn't catch them on the final lap. 1 to go. One lap car between Kenseth and Biffle still. Kenseth moves the lap car out of the way out of desperation, but it's going to be too little too late. He's a couple car lengths too many behind Biffle. He's not within bump and run distance. Greg Biffle will get the checkered flag for the second straight race, winning the second race of the season at Bristol, the Sharpie Professional 250. And Biffle starting the season 2-0. And remember, he won the first Cup race of the season on that side of things last night, so he's actually won 3 straight races between 2 series. What a great start. This was after starting last today with no practice or qualifying. An impressive performance. He didn't have the fastest car, but he got through the lap traffic a lot better in that final fuel run compared to what Matt Kenseth did, and that was the difference maker. And him being able to compete. It seemed to be like he had about the 4th fastest car today, but he was really able to pull away in the lap traffic. Not pull away. Well, he pulled away from everybody but Kenseth. But it was just enough to minimize Kenseth's speed. Biffle was able to capitalize on it. Take a look at the official results to tonight's race. 1 hour and 7 minutes to get the 250 lap race at Bristol in here tonight. 1-2 finish for Roush Fenway. They dominated the night. Matt Kenseth leads the most laps with 91 laps led today. Biffle was so close. He was only 9 laps short of Kenseth's mark, but Kenseth will actually get 10 bonus points. Biffle with 5. Still, though, 82 laps left from last place starting position. Pretty good. Remember, Kenseth started pretty far back, too. I remember him being in the back half of the field very early in the race. I could see him, like, up ahead, and I was like, man, a lot of the... That was when I mentioned that a lot of the Cup guys were outside the top 20, and so both of those two started in the back half of the field, and they combined to lead over 150 laps in the race. That was pretty impressive. So Biffle with the win. Matt Kenseth finishes 2nd. Bobby Hamilton Jr. finishes 3rd. He led 62 laps of his own. Dale Earnhardt Jr., he didn't lead a lap but finished 4th, and Ron Hornaday rounds out the top 5, also did not lead a lap. Tim Fita was 6th, Kyle Busch 7th, Mark Martin 8th, Casey Atwood 9th, and David Stremme rounds out the top 10. 18 lead changes in tonight's race, just the 1 caution back on lap 42 for the 117. Lance Brantley led 1 lap as well, it looks like. Daryl Bradford led 1 lap. Paul Menard led 13 towards the beginning of the race, but unfortunately he had an engine failure. I thought that was him that had an engine failure early. That's tough. He might have been in contention to win this thing, too. Donnie Hart, Paul Menard, Kenny Wallace, all DNF. And then we passed Holmes there late. So 3 drivers blew an engine tonight. I remember seeing all 3 of them. Take a look at the early season point standings. I know the points are going to be super tight through most of the field, but we'll check it anyway. Next race of the Busch Series schedule will be at Nazareth. I don't think that is going to be coming until next week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check the weekly streaming schedule real quick. Yeah, that won't be coming until next week. Not sure what day yet either, so we're still a little too far out for me to schedule. I only go 1 week at a time with my scheduling. I don't want to schedule too far in advance because dates can change and stuff. So, and we got another bot right at the end. Well, that's going to wrap things up regardless of the fact. Third race of the year will be a 200-lap event with the Gold Pumps 200 at Nazareth. But now we'll check out the early season standings. Best mile oval you've ever seen. Yeah, it was more suited for IndyCar because of its flat surface. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I ever watched a NASCAR race there. Trisha Games, welcome to the stream. Excited for Sunday at 3 p.m. at the LA Coliseum. Me too. We all get to enjoy it together live on the channel with the commentary. So Biffle's got the points lead. Dale Earnhardt Jr. sits second. A lot of the Cup Series guys have started the first 2 races of the year. A lot of the Cup guys will not be at Nazareth, with that being a standalone Busch Series race. So it will pretty much set it back. Once you miss 1 race, I mean, you're probably not going to win the championship. Likely not going to win the championship at least. So Greg Biffle, Dale Earnhardt Jr., 1-2 right now, but Junior will not be running the 3rd race of the year, so we're kind of looking back to Bobby Hamilton, who's 3rd in points, to end up technically being... he's 3rd out of technicality, but he's pretty much 2nd that we're looking at. He's 59 points back, but still, again, very early in the year. We got 29 races to go yet on this custom scheduled season. It's a season-long points format, and I don't see... Yeah, I mean, we won the first 2 races, so obviously we are in the points lead. Kenseth Martin, yeah, there's a lot of Cup guys inside the top 10. Harvick. I guess Biffle's first. 5 of the top 10 are all Cup Series regulars. But Biffle will be running every race because we're running as Biffle. Alright, that's going to wrap it up finally here tonight. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream event that will be taking place, I believe, at Homestead Miami Speedway. Yes, Homestead Miami Speedway for the next race of the final season of NASCAR 21 Ignition. So, again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard start time tomorrow. NASCAR 21 Ignition. We'll actually be running NASCAR 21 Ignition for the next 2 nights, so back-to-back nights, Wednesday and Thursday there for those live streams. Homestead, Vegas, 2 550 tracks. We'll get into it when the time comes. Thank you, everybody, for your support. As always, road to 10,000 subs in the year 2022, and the road to, most importantly, becoming a commentator down the line. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Jacob Givens, welcome to the chat as well there at the end.